arrive 4 years before they mature. It seems to be one of the most difficult jobs that you'll come across in Scotland, but the reality is, in Scotland today, Craigneuk, where I was born, can be replicated 1,000 times over, and these communities have been left behind for the last 90 years or so in the Scottish Parliament. And those parties in power at Holyrood, Labour and the SNP, could have and should have done far, far more for working class communities. Cover two things before I finish. First of all is to say that Jim Sillars would have been with us here today, but he's on holiday in Portugal and he sends us his warmest wishes and regards. And he's written a very important article that's in this edition, copy of this edition of the Scottish Socialist Voice, where he argues that we need a second referendum on independence, and we need a mandate for that second referendum on independence. A mandate that we need to secure next year in Holyrood's elections in 2016. And it's a clever article, it's well written, and it's honest and fair, and tells us what we know, which is if there was to be another referendum today in Scotland, we would lose it. We would lose it again. And the independence movement cannot afford to lose 2 independence referendums. So we've got to have our independence referendum number 2 when we are confident that we'll win it. When we are confident that we've persuaded those who voted no the last time to vote yes this time. When we've got the time to build the same yes movement that so famously achieved what it achieved in the last 2 or 3 years. That's an article well worth reflecting on, and it's something we're going to reflect on and Rise today and in months ahead. How we articulate the demand for a second referendum with a desire to win it, that hasn't kicked it way into the long grass into the next decade of this century. That's a challenge for Rise, and one I'm looking forward to engaging. But Suki, the one thing I wanted to also comment, and perhaps indulge me, of course, the great talking point of the moment is that phenomenon of politics called Corbyn mania. And for me, I looked at this phenomenon with Jeremy Corbyn with the same astonishment that I think you do. I'll be astonished 2 weeks today when Jeremy Corbyn gets elected as the Labour leader, as I'm sure he's going to. I was in the picket line at the Museum of Scotland yesterday with Neil Findlay, who is part of Jeremy's campaign, who's understandably reluctant to say that Jeremy Corbyn is going to win, but all the evidence suggests that he's going to win. I think, I know Jeremy Corbyn, I'm a huge admirer of his, and I think if and when he does become the new Labour leader, then I think we should all raise a dram, as Jean said before, to the astonishing achievement of somebody that with 2 minutes to go didn't have enough nominees to go on the ballot paper. But what's happened in the course of the last 3 months, that in the hustings campaigns that he's done against the 3 other suits for New Labour, cardboard cutout, who give politics a really bad name, all 3 of them, is an astonishing achievement nonetheless. But I have to say, I'm sure we all agree, I feel for Jeremy, because in 2 weeks' time I think his problems just begin. He has the support of 15 Labour MPs, which means there are 265 Brutuses out there about to put a knife in his back the first opportunity they get. I've been a member of the Labour Party in the past. I can see the right wing of the Labour Party real. I know what they're like. And I think, when MPs are saying, I'll treat Jeremy, I'll be as loyal to Jeremy Corbyn as he has been to the Labour leaders that he rebelled against on 283 different occasions in the last 3 years, then you can see what's coming down the line. And for me, Jeremy Corbyn's election, much as I welcome it as the new Labour leader, is a manifestation of the existential crisis that Labour is in. It's not a manifestation of the solution, it's a manifestation of the existential crisis they are in. And I feel for him, because I think the problems the Labour Party will face in the months to come are considerable. But putting that to one side, it's important we in Rise welcome every advance that socialists could make. But Jeremy Corbyn doesn't support independence. He doesn't support more powers for the Scottish Parliament. He doesn't support a second referendum either. And that's important, because I believe it doesn't offer progressive left opinion in Scotland that's so passionate for independence the avenue to get to where it wants to go to. And that's regrettable, but in a way it makes Rise's position and Rise's call for an independent Scotland, an independent socialist Scotland, all the more important. And Rise has its sights set on becoming, as I said before, the left opposition to the SNP and to winning seats at Holyrood next year. We have a tremendous opportunity